Well, hello my lovely ladies and gentlemen and little babies and rabbits and whoever else is watching. I am going to review this primer for you today. I am in a weird mood, so it's gonna be good. Weird, not bad, just weird as in like I'm a space case. So yeah, I think like I'm just so used to it being continuously winter around here, so the fact that it's sunny and feels like summer is just throwing me off. This makeup is my attempt at a glowy summer makeup look. Should have gone up last week. I will link it down below in case you haven't seen it and were interested in seeing it. It will be down there. But let's talk about this primer. So this is a Smashbox Photo Finish More Than Primer Blemish Control. So it's the newest one to their line. They have like a green one that's redness control. They have an oil control one. They all are their basic, I think they all start with the basic formula that is their Photo Finish primer. And then they add whatever ingredients. So this guy has salicylic acid and it's oil free. I had samples of just the normal one that I was in one of my empties videos. And I was sort of on the fence about it. And then when this one came out, I'm like, well, anything that's going to help with blemish control, yes. I always wear a primer, so if I could wear a primer that's going to sort of act as a protective layer and actually do something useful on my face, then why not? I got a sample because it was, so this is, I'm all over the place, I told you, 30 milliliters and it's $50. So I was like, well, I'm not going to just spend the money on it. What if my skin doesn't like it? I'm going to try a sample. And I did try a sample and I loved it, and now I have this guy. It has salicylic acid in it, and I know my skin reacts well to salicylic acid, like as in it helps clear out my breakouts. But again, I wanted to try out the sample first. So what I found that it did for sure, and what I loved, and the reason I went back to buy it, is I could tell that my blemishes at the end of the day had started to dry out. Like I was sitting there, so I think I had my hand on my chin, and I'm not going to do that now because I'm going to mess up my foundation. But I had my hand on my chin and I had a breakout over here, and I was like, why does this feel, you know when your breakouts a couple days, like if you don't do nothing to them, a couple days later they start getting dry and you can feel like they're healing, like they're not red and painful anymore? That was the feeling I got, and I was like, why all of a sudden is it doing this? And then I remembered that I'd had the primer on. And what's great is that it dries out the areas where you have blemishes without drying out your entire face. Like it wasn't like I felt my whole, even though I had it all over my face, my whole face wasn't dry. It was just those areas that had spots that were starting to dry out. So that was awesome. It also, I was thinking that I would have to use, I have some pores in this area. I'm going to bring you in a second. But I have some pores in this area, and I was thinking that if I got this, I would use it on the areas I had blemishes, but I'd have to use something else for my areas with big pores. And what I found is that, okay, it doesn't minimize my pores completely like my Dior Pore Minimizer, but it's also a really nice primer that sort of diffuses everything. I'm going to bring you in and show you what I mean. Hello. Okay, every time I have a gloss on today, so I'm like, we should check those teeth. So I hope you can see, but this is the area that I usually have trouble with, and I can't really see huge amounts of pores there. It's just sort of blurred everything out. And then I'll make sure, I'm gonna try, okay, I'm gonna show you and then I'm gonna insert a demo. But yeah, this is sort of the finish that it gives, and I just make sure to rub it in, especially in the areas where I'm having breakouts and issues. I'm gonna zoom you guys back out. Yeah. Yeah, I want to zoom me back out so I can, I swear, I feel like I have lipstick on my teeth, but I don't think it's there. I'm going to show you a demo of me applying it. And so I apply it like I do with any other primer. I pat it in and then just rub it in with my fingers, and I feel like it works really well that way. And yeah, I'm going to show you the consistency of it. I told you I was all over the place today. I'm going to show you the consistency of it on my hand, and I don't know if it has a smell. I should probably, I can't really smell anything, but it's sort of white, and you can see it's not super liquidy, and then it just blends out like this to where it's really nice and dry. Not nice and dry, but nice and blended, and it looks shiny, but you saw my face, so it's not super shiny. Yeah, those are my thoughts on this primer. I really like it. I think it is pretty expensive though. That's the only sort of downfall. I had a gift card at Sephora at the time, so that's what I used on it, but I really enjoyed it. The other thing I was going to say, oh, so it is a salicylic acid primer in terms of the fact that it will dry out your, one sec, itchy nostrils, your existing blemishes, but it doesn't really promise. Let's see. It says banish blemishes. This perfecting primer treats breakouts, provides oil-free hydration, and keeps skin clearer over time. Apply to bare skin for best results. Avoid eye area. Helps clear acne, cleanse skin thorough. What? So it says helps clear acne, and then it says cleanse skin thoroughly before applying the product. Then apply to affected areas 1 to 3 times daily. 1 to 3 times daily, or as directed by a healthcare professional. But why would you say help clear acne and then give the instructions? Didn't you say instructions and then, anyways. What I was going to say is that I do think that it helps treat the acne I have. It does help keep me hydrated, even though it has that salicylic acid in it. But in terms of preventing future breakouts, I don't know how much I agree with that. It's not that I'll break out more with this product, but I still do get the occasional breakout. So I don't think this is a solution for long-term. Like, you need some skincare for long-term blemish control, but in terms of treating what is already on your face, it does do a good job at that. So I do highly recommend it if you have the money to spend on it. If you have a gift card, if you're curious, I do quite highly recommend it. And yeah, let's do 3 points of positivity. Does that sound like a plan? I think so. My first point of positivity is I was feeling a little bit down yesterday. You guys ever have those days when you get really, really just like angry and stressed out, and you know that you should like take a deep breath and count to 10, but you almost don't want to calm down? Yeah, that was me yesterday. And so when my aunt called for me to come over and see them, I was like, okay, fair warning, I'm in one of those moods. But there's something about being around my little cousins. Those kids are just so full of energy. They are amazing. And I left with the biggest smile on my face. Like, there's just really no way to not be happy when you're around them, even though they're loud and even though they like will repeat the same thing over and over and over once they realize that it's irritating you. They just are adorable. And so I know we talked about sort of happiness techniques in one of my Q&A video, but I think that's one of the things that I definitely do recommend. If you're in a bad mood and you just can't get yourself out of it, go surround yourself by just happy, lighthearted people, because it really will make all the difference. My second point of positivity is, I don't know if I told you, but I saw Maleficent and I really, really loved it. It was such a great movie. And I maybe did tell you. And I may be telling you again because I saw it for a second time. Is that bad? But it was just such a great movie. And say what you want about Angelina and her politics and her kids and whatever, that woman can act like nobody's business. Just, there's a part where she screams this like blood curdling scream, and you have like, it's just so believable, and you just feel it, like you feel it in your bones. It's amazing. And I feel like those are the moments that distinguish amazing actresses from just sort of run-of-the-mill or terrible actresses, for that matter. Or is the correct word actor now? I'm not sure. But anyways, yeah, those moments of like intense pain or like anger, like there are these moments of extreme emotion when, if you're not a great actor or actress or whatever the correct term is, I'm not trying to be facetious, I generally, or sort of cavalier about it, I'm not actually quite sure what the correct term is. Those moments separate, I think, the good from the great. So I really like that movie, and I highly recommend it too if you haven't seen it yet. There we go. And my third point of positivity is the fact that there's a bunch of new collections launching from MAC, and my sweet friend Rada, I'll link the video where she does sort of her intro that sums up my reactions to these MAC limited edition collections to a T. They've been launching a bunch of summer collections, and it's driving me mental. Because I get that anxiety about like, I need it, did I get enough, did I get everything I want, it's limited edition, rush out and get it right away. That anxiety that I was trying to sort of distance myself from, it's been coming back with those collections. But what has been making me happy is that I actually have gotten to a place where I'm like, nope, like I'm gonna take a deep breath, and if it means that I don't actually go to a store for one of those launches and I just sit online and pass on something, or buy one item, that's what I'm gonna do. So I've been really happy about the fact that I've been able to do that, and the fact that I've picked up products that I really actually do love and I will get good use out of. So that's making me smile. As always, please share that happiness with us down below. One of the best ways to keep our smiles nice and bright is to share in that positivity with each other. I want to send each and every one of you huge amounts of love, lots of positivity, and lots of sunshine. You deserve it, and you guys are awesome. I'm just gonna get really sappy, so I'm gonna leave. And as always, before I leave you, just want to remind you that life is just too short to wear boring lipstick. Bye, guys.